this family day and try to relax and be unstressed in your work life. No? Here in Philippines, when you go to work, when I go to my office, when I used to have a lot of employees, it's like going into family. I swear to you, you walk in, the culture and the relationship that you have with your workers here, with this team over here, the relationship you have is like family.
Yeah.
So you don't really have stress. Your work life is balanced. The Filipino worker, the Filipino employee is, number one, is loyal, he's honest, and he's a happy person. It's not difficult to make your Filipino employees happy. It's really simple. All you have to do is respect them, nurture them, care for them, and give them enough and a bit more for the future, and it's really a happy crowd. You know, I have been to Latin America, and you go to the US where it's all task-based. It's not as easy. This is, in terms of people, this is the easiest country. If those rankers who did Singapore and Hong Kong would rank it from the people perspective, we would be champions.
Oh,
really?
So there you go, lady, whoever it's questioning. That's my answer. We are champions when it comes from the window of people.
Oh, okay.
thank you for that.
How about you, Mika? And I have personal experience. All right.
That's true. Once again, I will go back to the difference of culture and the difference of way of thinking. I think there's a gap at the beginning, and that's something I would say a first step to focus on. To succeed, you absolutely need to fill that gap. To understand, you cannot expect a Filipino employee to think exactly the same way you do. And it's not because they don't think the same way than you do, you're right and they're wrong. As long as you understood that and you agreed on that, I think you made already a good first step.
Okay, so we have another text message here from Susa Yu. Again, no location, but I guess you're in the Philippines. So is it easier to do business in the Philippines than in your country in particular? And why the Philippines?
France or India?
We stop.
Okay.
Okay, go alphabetical.
Viva le-
Alphabetical.
Exactly.
Viva le Frances.
Easier. I won't say it's easier. I think doing business, you are exposed to the same risk wherever you do it.
Good point. Yeah.
Because it's not an exact science. Many companies have been succeeding. Many have failed also. Difference, I don't see so much.
Okay.
Why in the Philippines? Personally, it was somehow luck.
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 All
Yeah,
right.
it was not really on purpose.
Ah,
I went to the Philippines. I decided to stay, and one day, looking around, I was thinking, wow, there is really a lot of possibilities in terms of creativity, in terms of creating business in the Philippines, compared to other countries where markets are already big, everything is already done, you have less space for creativity.
Oh.
Philippines,
It's still growing.
it's still growing, yeah.
Right. How about you?
All right, maybe the person who asked that question, I don't know if it's a lady or a guy or a gentleman. Oh, Susan.
Susan.
So I'm assuming
Without
that's a
the
woman
N,
or a
yes,
girl. Huh?
Okay.
So your question is easier. But if you had asked me, was it better to do business in my country? Today, I would tell you that it is much better to do business in India because of the size of the economy. Because it's a growing economy. It's really growing at 10% per annum. It's easier to do it's easier to do business in the Philippines, but better to do business in India right now, today, in this century. But about 30 years ago, it was easier and better to do business in the Philippines. The reason is very simple. Philippines has an underground economy, and that's a challenge. Most other countries don't have that. So the business you do is a bit of a struggle. Nothing's on the surface. So that's the reason. I hope that answers your question.
Okay.
So easier here, better there. Yun po.
So before time flies, right?
Yeah.
Time flies. Okay, so we have a few minutes left. Let's maybe we can show our tip box for today. Okay, and our tip box is about foreigners doing business in the Philippines. There are a few aspects that we've covered, but some we haven't covered. Well, some cultural aspects. I won't read all of them. Okay. No, maybe I'll just read through them. Okay.
Read through them.
Most Filipinos apply patriarchal hierarchy. That means they consider their bosses as their fathers.
Amo.
Father figure, like that. So if their bosses treat them badly, their reaction is really violent sometimes. Okay, that's why they
That's
do
because
that.
of our cariñoso nature.
Yes. Also, we use more intuition. We use intuitive thinking and consensus to make our decisions more than facts and figures.
Paramdam.
Paramdam, yes. Pakiramdam.
Pakiramdam.
Okay, and also we give high value to personal relationships and socialization, which is why we are, like Raju said, we're family-oriented.
Yeah.
Okay? We also have we give great importance to keeping face. Okay?
Honor.
Yes, honor, ha? Hindi ako pwedeng mapahiya.
Yeah.
Okay? And, this is more of a stereotype, that there's a relaxed attitude when it comes to time for Filipinos.
Well, time is an abstract thing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as time. It's only we who created the clocks. The Swiss did, and the French did.
No, we didn't.
If not for you Europeans, we would have no time.
Okay, let's go to the legal aspects this time. The legal aspects are, foreigners can generally invest 100%. That is something most foreigners didn't know. Okay, and then foreigners have to consider the 40% equity rule. This is only for the negative list, which is basically doing business or making your market the country itself. And then foreigners get great incentives for export companies like Mika does.
Yeah.
And then also, something they didn't know is that you can actually set up office abroad and put up a branch office in the Philippines. That's another way to go around this whole thing.
Liaison.
Okay. But lastly, we have on the next page, okay, other aspects to doing business. This is more my contribution. The literacy rate here is 90%. English speaking. Most people, maybe they don't speak English grammatically correct, but most Filipinos will understand English. And many people can actually write, okay, something, get understood. And then we're also the 5th largest English-speaking country in the world. And labor and cost of living is relatively cheap here in the Philippines. So I'd like to invite you again. One of our winners will go to the best workshop. And that's on November 20 and 21 at the penthouse of the Makati Stock Exchange building. Registration is at 8 a.m. And of course, for more information, contact the information you see on the screen, BizWiz Resources, and those numbers. Okay? So don't forget to send your name, your contact number, email address, and general location. Okay, so going back to our guest.
Who won?
Let's tell who won. I
CD.
think for the CD, I'll say, how would you say?
I'd like to give it to Susan because that's the only name I know.
Okay.
Susan gets this CD, and
yes.
then you can give the workshop to the
Okay,
other
the
gentleman.
workshop goes to the first texter. I didn't get your name. Please text again your name and location, and somebody will contact you from BizWiz Resources for your free workshop.
So mystery caller gets the ticket,
Yes,
and
Sousa
gets
gets
the CD. Cool.
the CD.
Cool.
All right, Sousa, you have to text you have to text which CD you want.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, any final words for our viewers? Because I think we're being reached in Asia also, and if I'm not mistaken, I got
Some parts of Europe.
Some parts of Europe and the Middle East also. I don't know if it's that clear there, but yes. Could you give some message? Let's start with Mika.
I remember one discussion I had a long time ago with a Filipino.
Yes.
And I think everybody is thinking creating business is all about money. meaning you don't have money, you don't create your own business. And I will say, fortunately, it's wrong. There is many good example of people motivated and creative who really succeeded. I recently, so I will just make a little comment on a movie I watched over the weekend.
Yes.
The Social Network.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I invite people
to
watch the movie and to understand what is it about creating a business, creating a startup, and how difficult and how easy it can be. It's giving quite a good picture, not the entire picture, but it's giving, I will say, the main one. And I think many people watching the movie might be then motivated and amazed to see it's not that
difficult.
that impossible. Yeah.
Ah, wow.
Also, I'd like to invite other people. If you want to, if you have good English speaking skills and can actually teach it, you can also approach Mika for that one. Okay, if you want to get into WeFit solutions.
Wow.
Raju, any final words?
Well, all I'd like to say is this, I haven't watched the movie, The Social Network.
You should.
So I should, I should download it from the torrents and then watch it.
We're on the air.
All I'd like to say is this, that across the world there are so many cultures and so many personalities, and we've drawn lines across the globe, dividing countries and nations and people. I think we should not draw lines across our hearts. Our relationship should be open. So doing business in any country is easy if you don't carry your past troubles into that future. So my suggestion is keep it open, keep it shared, and let the world grow as one. We are really one, so that's my tip.
All right. Alvin, you have anything to say?
No, that's NLP, right? I was blown away. I learned so much from these people about my own country. It's really strange. But thank you very much for
Welcome
coming
to
over.
SME Forum.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your time and wisdom.
And my name is Boom San Agustin, and I'll leave you with this message. It isn't about perfection. It's about connection. Have a great morning, everybody.